Hello, my name is John Cooley. I'm with Cooleys General Pest and Termite Control. As most of you are aware, we're going to be doing a large fumigation within your complex. We'd like to go over a few of the steps that you'll need to take in order to prepare your unit for fumigation. Inside your fumigation packets, which most of you have if you're seeing this DVD, you're going to find the fumigation bags. These are neoprene bags, and you simply take one bag and place it inside the other like this. So in essence, you have two bags put together. Then you go to your refrigerator, and any items that aren't hermetically sealed, in other words, have a factory seal. As an example, these are hermetically sealed. They've never been opened and they're sealed, and you don't need to worry about items like this. But anything that is open will need to go inside the bag. Generally speaking, you like to take the items that are the heaviest and put those on the bottom, set the bag on the ground, and load up the bag that way. It makes it easier when you're putting the things away to kind of keep shelves with shelves and crispers with crispers. It's easier in putting things back. So once you've taken everything out of the refrigerator that's not sealed and placed it in the bag, you simply want to take the first bag, twist the top, and either use a piece of tape or a zip tie or a rubber band in order to seal the first bag. Place that back inside and do the same thing with the second bag. Just roll it up and seal the top. If you need rubber bands or any other thing to seal the bags, call the hotline number and someone will bring those over to your unit. Once you've filled the bags with the items in the refrigerators that aren't sealed, simply take the shelves out and put the bag right back in the refrigerator and close the door. It's that simple. And then you'd repeat the same thing with the freezer. Try to keep items, like we said before, drawers that are together, keep those together. It makes it easier putting things away. But everything in the freezer will also need to go inside the bags if it's been opened. As an example, this package hasn't been opened, however it's not hermetically sealed. It doesn't pop when you open it or have like a foil liner on the top. So these things will all need to go inside the bags. Once again, once you've bagged everything in the freezer, simply take the shelves out and put the bag back inside in the freezer. You don't need to worry about the things that are inside the bags. Once they're in the freezer and back in the refrigerator, they're fine. Let's move over to the pantry for a moment. The pantry, the same thing applies. We're going to need to take anything that's not hermetically sealed and put it inside the bags, the double bags. Things like the crackers and pastas and other things like that, even though they're in a non-opened container, are still going to need to be put inside the bag because they're not hermetically sealed. You might want to go through and look for things that are expired, or if there's just a little bit of orange juice or a little bit of milk left inside the jug, it might be better to use that prior to the fumigation rather than to take up the space in the bags. Other things inside the kitchen, like fruit dishes or sugar bowls, nuts bowls, or candy bowls, anything like that that's open and not hermetically sealed and goes in your stomach must go in the bag. The rule of thumb is, if it goes in your stomach, it goes in the bags, unless it's hermetically sealed. Canned goods don't need to go in the bags. Even alcohol that hasn't been opened, Coca-Cola cans, condiments where the top hasn't been breached yet and it's still hermetically sealed, you don't need to worry about those things. However, if you're more comfortable, we're happy to bring you some extra bags and let you bag those things if it makes you feel better. Once you come back inside your unit, there's nothing that needs to be cleaned. There's no residual left on the countertops or knives and forks and spoons and glasses, dogs' chew toys, baby bottles, pet dishes. None of these things are affected by the fumigation. You don't need to clean or wipe down or disinfect anything after the fumigation. Naturally, you'll feel that you do. However, there's nothing left behind. Once the gas is gone and the tent comes down, there's no lingering effects. So, to recap in the kitchen, everything in the refrigerator that's not sealed, including eggs, cheese, all the other items, will need to go in the bags. Seal the first bag, seal the second bag, place it right back in the refrigerator. The things inside the pantry, it's fine just to leave them out on the floor in the kitchen. You don't need to put them back in the pantry for us. But it's fine to leave them in the kitchen, and make sure you kind of take a look around for salt and pepper shakers or candy dishes or other things like that that need to go in the bag also. I'd like to take a few minutes and just go up into the bathroom and look at a few things up there also. Inside the bathrooms, there's also things that are going to have to be prepared, mostly inside the medicine cabinet. Things like medication are going to need to go inside the bag also. This antacid, because it's unsealed and open, will also need to go inside the bag. Anything, again, the rule of thumb, if it goes in your stomach, it goes in the bag unless it's hermetically sealed. Things like toothpaste, although you don't ingest it and it doesn't go in your stomach, it's a good idea to put it in the bag. But you don't need to worry about your toothbrushes or other things, makeup, lipstick, mascara. These things you don't ingest. They don't go into your stomach, so they don't have to go inside the bag. I know a lot of people are very much more comfortable about putting their toothbrushes inside the bags, which is understandable. But there's really no reason to do that. And once again, there's nothing to clean inside the bathrooms or any place else in your home. Not your bedding, not your pillowcases, not your pillows. None of those things need to be cleaned once the fumigation is completed. So inside the bathroom, you want to look at things like medication, vitamins, anything else that ultimately ends up in your stomach. But don't worry about makeup or lotions or eye creams or face creams. None of those things need to go inside the bags because you don't ingest them. I want to take a couple of minutes, go outside, talk about the plants a little bit, and explain how we're going to mark those plants from your balconies or from your patios, and how we're going to take care of your interior plants. Inside the house, if you have house plants, in your packet you'll find a rubber band popsicle sticks. What we'd like you to do is take those popsicle sticks out, put your unit number on the popsicle stick, and then simply just place the popsicle stick in your potted plant. What we'll be doing is taking those plants out to the front of the structure, and then after the fumigation, we'll be bringing them back in. What we'll generally do is put a small sticker on the pot that'll say unit number 14, plant 1. Then we'll stick a sticker where the plant was to correspond with the number that's on the plant. So we try to replace them in the exact same spot we took them from. Sometimes we mess up a little bit and you might have to relocate some of your plants, but generally speaking, we get them pretty close to where we took them from. Outside on your balcony, you're going to have a lot of potted plants, and those we will remove and those we will put back. You don't need to worry about any of those things. If you have indoor potted plants that are on a large pot and have like a water holder below them, we'll usually leave the water holder and just take the potted plant out. Let's take a couple of minutes, go outside and talk about the exterior plants and a few things having to do with the exterior vegetation. The exterior plants will also be handled by our preparation crew. Most of the plants on the balcony and your front porch areas will be marked and then moved off the porches so that the tent can come over the top of the porches and the balconies. The exterior plants, we try to be as careful as we can, but a lot of them are overgrown and growing over the handrails on the balconies, and those we might have to do some cutting, but generally speaking, we're able to remove those plants and get them back into the same spots. The exterior landscaping, especially the ground cover around the structures, has a tendency to get burned during the fumigation. It likely won't kill the ground cover, but we will get some burning that's caused by the tent going over it. There's no way to prevent that. Any plants that are on the building will also be burned during the fumigation process, but generally speaking, with heavy watering, these plants will come back, and it's a relatively simple process. We want to let you know that once you drop off your key, you will not be allowed back in your unit. Once we've begun the process and you've vacated your unit, you cannot come back in until the building has been cleared for re-entry. There'll be a large security mobile home on the property, and it'll be clearly marked for you to identify. What we'd like you to do is bring your key and your fumigation notice to the security motorhome the night prior to fumigation so that we can fill out your paperwork, get an emergency number, and have a key to your unit. Then, the following morning, on the day of your fumigation, you'll vacate about 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning, and then you can come back 2 days later, usually around 1 o'clock. You can check with the hotline number, simply call the hotline number, and see if we can get you in a little bit earlier. Sometimes the tents come down and they clear earlier and we can get you in. The HOA has gone to great lengths to make this as convenient as possible for the residents. Our focus naturally is on the seniors in the complex and making sure that they have everything that they need. As a matter of fact, for the seniors in the complex, all they need to do is give us their key and their notice, and we handle all of the preparation. However, if you should need like an early check-in at your hotel or a late check-out, or you have packages being delivered, we're happy to make arrangements to get those packages and bring them to you if necessary. If you have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to call the hotline number. That's what it's there for. Even if it seems like it might be silly to you, we've heard every question you could possibly hear, and we're here to make it as simple as we possibly can for the residents. This is a very simple process for us. Although it's very inconvenient for you, it's 100% necessary. There's no way to get around this fumigation. The termite infestation has reached a point where any other method of treatment is not going to work. If you have any questions prior to the breakfast meetings, please feel free to call us directly at the hotline number 805-304-5506. We look forward to assisting you, and remember, we're here to work for you. We appreciate your patience. We appreciate your cooperation. Thank you very much.